And joining us now is Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield. Sir, thanks for being here. What's happening on the ground right now? Are you seeing any troops yet?
No, not at the moment. I think what we have done is we filed a lawsuit yesterday to get in the courts and get in front of a judge as quickly as possible. Earlier this morning, we filed a temporary restraining order to pause the president's actions, really talking about why he has exceeded his authority and can't national or federalize the National Guard here in Oregon. Again, you got to remember, this is Oregon. You got to remember, this is America. We don't use the United States military in our cities. That's not something we do except under incredibly extreme circumstances.
The president has called Portland a hotbed of insurrection. He says ICE facilities there are under siege by Antifa and others who he calls domestic terrorists. To be fair, there have been protests, sometimes violent, outside Portland ICE locations. How do you respond to those specific claims and justification for sending troops?
I think we've got to ground ourselves in how our president gets his facts, and he does that through social media. He doesn't do that by picking up the phone and talking to real people on the ground. If you were to look in Portland over the last couple of weeks and you were to talk to the Portland police, you'd find that there is more activity around the nightlife of Portland than there is around the ICE facility. And obviously, federalizing the National Guard doesn't improve the way we think about how the president is determining facts. So this is just a reality check for the president. You got to do your homework. You got to look at what's really going on in a city before you start trying to make these bold statements and frankly misleading the American people and starting to normalize the use of our U.S. military in American cities.
You filed your suit in advance of an actual deployment, which is different than we've seen in other places, whether it was D.C. or what we saw in Los Angeles. Why take that strategy and lay out the case for our viewers?
Yeah, listen, you have a president that has started to attack our independent judiciary. He's attacked free press, and now you've seen the normalization of the United States military in American cities. We are not a third world country. We are America. It's happened in California, D.C. He's doing it in Memphis. He's talking about it in Illinois, and we received formal orders at 9:32 yesterday morning on Sunday. And it was my instruction at the Oregon Department of Justice that I wanted to be in court within 12 hours of a formal order. And we have amazing people that work at the Oregon Department of Justice, and we did it in less than 6 hours. And so that's why it's so darn important. We have to draw a line in the sand. This is America. We have the police, the Portland Police Department, amazing police department, is doing a wonderful job in keeping communities safe. We have the Oregon State Police, we have the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office, and we have an incredible district attorney in Multnomah County doing the work to keep the public safe. You don't need the U.S. military walking our streets in any country, in any city. That's not America.
You brought up a few other cities. Your lawsuit claims the president has repeatedly attacked Democrat-led cities and states over immigration enforcement. Do you believe that's really what's behind this?
You know, I'm not sure exactly what is behind the president's motive. Clearly, he's either recklessly relying on social media gossip, or this is truly meant to, strike a political moment where he'll get some celebratory, streaming issue that he'll be able to, point his finger to and say, look, I did something. When it comes to outcomes, this is not how you improve public safety. You improve public safety by picking up the phone, talking to elected officials, talking to leaders in the community, saying, what do you need to improve public safety? And you know what? There are cities and states across this country that would love that type of a collaborative conversation with any president. But that's not what's going on right now. What he's doing is abusing a power to federalize the National Guard. And remember, the way you do that, the way you do it legally, it's very extreme circumstances. That's when we're being invaded, an invasion, a rebellion, or you cannot effectuate the laws of the United States. None of those things are happening in Oregon right now.
You've heard the president essentially try to flip this on Democrats, saying, by pushing back against his moves, you're giving a green light to criminals. We know crime has come down in Portland, but no one's calling it the safest city in America. We have some numbers here from Portland police over the past 12 months, nearly 3,000 aggravated assaults, 43 homicides, 6,300 cases of vandalism, more than 4,000 burglaries. Does Portland have a crime problem?
You know, every city has issues with crime. What I can tell you is that we have a police force that is doing incredible work and our numbers are improving. We have, again, partnerships with the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office. We have the Oregon State Police and we have a district attorney that are working to keep communities safe. And we are doing that. And it is improving over time. What I would really try and focus people on is we need to look at the facts on the ground, not the kind of numbers or things that you're seeing on social media, real facts. And we'd invite the president to come out to Oregon and take a look around, see what's actually going on. You're seeing a movement on social media right now in kind of this satire where regular Oregonians are posting videos about how peaceful Portland is on every day. And you're seeing politicians even do that as well. This is what we need to be talking about. This is a political exercise that the president is engaged in. It's not based in facts.
Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield, thank you very much for taking the time with us, and I hope you'll come back as we continue to cover what's happening there in your state.